Dixon. The world keeps taking, my job is taking back. London greets us with cold air and streets strangled by vines. Carol and I move slow, crossbow up, quiet lies. Walkers spill from buses, alleys, and grass. Bolts down and kick into a building and slam the gate. Stare hang man twitches stern. 2 hits, silence. From the balcony, the road is boiling with dead. We're trapped 2 nights. Food thin, patience thinner. At dawn we run, I tell Carol. She smiles, shows a crushed hot dog like it's treasure. Then a flash from across the street, saw me on a live answer with a mirror shards later. Roof steps, we meet a grinning stranger with food. Name, S. Julian. Lonely, not crazy. Says he can sail. We need a boat. He needs people. Deal. Morning, Big Ben rings. Julian lures a herd away. We push off on the Thames. Tower bridge broken. Still proud. Wind smells like home. Out at sea, his skills fade. No GPS, no compass, only stars. 2 weeks to America, he says, maybe. Nights are long. Carol lets go of ghosts. I still see France, the kid lord. Storm hits hard. Sails whip, mass bucks, Julian drops. We drag him below and fight blind. I wake on sand, mouthful of salt, boat wrecked. Carol's bleeding, fever spicking infection. I find liquor and a knife, no meds. She bites a stick. I pull the iron shard. She doesn't scream. Uli's missing Guntel. He staggers by the ties gray. 1 shot ends it. I push him into the sea. Let the waves keep him. I fought hide in the cave. Fire low. Hooves and masked men sweep the beach. I kill the flame. Hold Carol still. They root our wreck and ride off. On leaves us empty-handed land we walk. A sunbit sign, Costa da Mort's Bane. America's still a dream. Walkers here are netted like fish. That means Servorsing rules. Arrow burns, how whisper, hold on. We're going home. Next morning I hunt. Rabbit in hand, a jeep roars past our men laughing. I hide then sprint back. Hut is in peril. We wind answers. Oh, I load the cross behind a trail and move. I am Daryl Dixon. A world keeps tacking until I take it back.
Carol! Carol!
I'm Daryl Dixon. In this world, mercy gets you killed. Strength keeps you breathing. Came back from a hunt and found Carol got ill hurt, still weak. I followed her tracks, mud, blood, then laughter.
What the hell are you doing? You alright? Shh. Look.
A young couple by the river. For a second, it felt like the world hadn't ended. She smiled at them. I only saw the backpack by the rocks. Could be medicine. Could be luck. Before I reached it, a truck rolled up for armed men. They spotted the couple. He tried to shield the girl and got slapped to the ground. Drew first-rate arrows. 3 dead. 1 runner got away. I hate loose ends. A girl said her grand's a healer. The boy hesitated his town dosing. He takes strangers. I aim my gun. Then I'll take us there. He did.
Start walking.
The town smelled of salt and smoke. Walkers hung on fences like warnings. The mayor, Federico, was polite but cold. No outsiders. I said just the night. He refused until an older man, Antonio, offered shelter. The boy Roberto was his son. A fed Uav Carol a bed. At dinner, I asked what kind of place trades daughters for peace. They called it tradition. I called it slavery. No one answered. Alberto told me about La Ofrenda tribute every king. S-men come with guns as food and take a girl away, his girlfriend. S on the list. He said love's useless here. I told him it's the only thing left worth fighting for. Ex-soldiers arrive at flags, drums, fake smiles. A man begged for his daughter. They dragged him off. The new queen stepped out, her face familiar to one of the guards. He looked broken. Ada Mayer threw a feast. Carol asked why they keep obeying monsters. He said peace has a price. She said some prices damn your soul. Noticed a face from the raid staring at rubble, found me before I could finish my drink. They followed me into the alleys. 3 shadows, same intent. The drums covered their footsteps. Mine too. Stone, a strike, a kick woe down. One hung from the wall, fingers clutching for mercy. I gave him none. Daryl, Dixon, this world demands a sacrifice. L'll make it bleed first. My name's Daryl Dixon. I've seen towns built on lies before, but Soledad Del Mar. This place was different. They called it peaceful, safe, but peace always has a price. When I arrived, they told me no outsiders could stay. Tomorrow, they said, a girl would be chosen, a sacrifice to keep the town under some king's protection. I didn't believe it at first. Then I saw the fear in their eyes. Roberto and I headed toward the coast to fix the boat. The sea smelled like rust and old memories. We found an old captain, Valentina, living in a lighthouse filled with dust and ghosts of her past. She said she'd help for 5 kilos of gunpowder. I didn't ask why. I just needed a way home. On the bee, a tide whispered secrets. When we tried to pull the rudder from an abandoned boat, water moved. And what came out wasn't a fish. Pale, swollen walkers rising from the waves. First time I'd seen the dead swim. Their eyes were open like they'd been waiting for us. He fought until the sand turned red. The ocean took one. I took the rest. Guess the sea's not the only thing that won't stay buried. Back in town, Carol found comfort with Roberto's father, a man who used movies to remember the world before it fell. He said films are proof we once had beauty. Maybe he's right. Maybe that's all we've got left, memories that refuse to die. A piece here was rotting from the inside. A king demanded another offering. And when Justina realized her best friend Alba was chosen, she volunteered to take her place. Said it was the only way to make things fair. I watched her step into that car, face steady, eyes full of light. No one stopped her. Not the mayor, not her family. Maybe that's what this world is now, the innocent saving the guilty. As we drove past the shrine again, I left a Rubik's Cube beside the stones. A goodbye to a boy I couldn't save. Maybe to all the ones I couldn't. Waves kept crashing, same as always. But that night, the town felt smaller, quieter, like it knew it had lost something pure. Sacrifices build whole. Others just feed the dark. I still don't know which kind this was. My name's Daryl Dixon. Every town says they've got their own kind of justice. Out here, it's just revenge with better manners. The deal was simple: 1 girl each year in exchange for trucks full of guns. They called it protection. I called it extortion. But no one wanted to listen until the fires started falling. Roberto blamed me for everything said. If Carol and I hadn't come, Justina would still be alive. Maybe he's right. Maybe she'd still be breathing. But I've learned not to carry ghosts. They walk beside you anyway. You were fixing the boat because he was calm. The air thick with the promise of escape. Valentina said the weather would hold a week, maybe 2. I almost believed her. Then the arrows came. Hit Kupite in the chest. He fell before I even saw where it came from. Shadows moved in the Dunsman dressed in animal hides, painted with ash, and with screaming like beasts. The first shot blew through one of them. The next took another's head clean off, but there were too many. At the time we fought them, Oupra was gone. The sea took him like it takes everything else. And the bells rerum the town, Soledad Del Mar, Carol and I ran. Smoke on the horizon, flames licking the sky. The so-called primitivos were attacking, burning everything, tearing through walls like they'd been waiting for this moment. He reached the gates just as they broke through. Gunfire screams and the sound of bones cracking. Carol fought beside me, hammer in one hand, Knife in the other swing, a memory of someone she couldn't save. I use their rage against them. Duck, strike, reload, repeat. Every second a heartbeat. Every heartbeat a kill. And it heat a fireball from the Mountie eating up the night. When it crashed, the world went silent. Then came the moans. Burning walkers walking out of the flames. A second thought hell had opened its doors. We emptied our mags. The mayor dragged out a hidden crate, machine guns, ammo, everything the Alliance had sent. So that's what the girls bought with their lives, guns, and lies. By morning, the ground was ash and blood. The living counted fewer than before. Roberto stole a Jeep, said he was going after Justina. His father went after him. Carol went after the father. Hlup, said I was going, then I went. You can't stop people from chasing ghosts. Ooh, just make sure they don't die alone. Daryl, Dixon, and out here. Us this ain't T-blind, it's burning. My name's Daryl Dixon. By the time we found the overturned Jeep, the desert had already erased most of the tracks except one. A necklace still warm from the sun. Tina's? That meant they'd been here. And they were taken.
Roberto!
Followed the road until I saw him banging under a bridge. Surrounded by biters, no time to think. 2 shots, 2 men down, and we pulled him out before the rope snapped. The kid was half dead, but alive. Sometimes that's all you get. He said he'd found Tina, but they were caught again. She was taken. Same men, same brand of cruelty. Carol wanted to go after them. I told her not to. She was still hurt. She told me to stop telling her what she can or can't do. That's Carol for you. We split up. She took the boy back home. I went after the girl. Where southward Barcelona, the road opened into nothing, sand, bones, and heat. I met a blind man with no eyes, mumbling prophecies and dust. He said I was next. Didn't wait to ask what he meant. Then I saw it, a train moving through the desert, dragged by walkers on chains. Cowboys with rifles rode beside it like ghosts. When one of them spotted me, I knew it was trouble. 2 bikes came for me. Bullets bit the sand. Engines screamed. We fought like outlaws in a western. Nobody was watching. Both of us bled. Only one road away. I biked into the heat, was a knife in my skull. By nightfall, I could barely stand. That's when they found me, faces scarred, eyes tired, bows drawn, not walkers, not bandits, something in between. They took me to their village built in the bones of a war. The place was called Limbo. Airskin was rotted, but they were alive leprechauns. Their water was gone. Stolen by men on that train. 5 days without water, and they'd all die. They asked for help. We built traps, made ropes, set the ground for an ambush. When the bikers came back, the sand swallowed them one by one. The leader lasted long enough to see his own reflection before the end. I used his train to finish the job, cut the chains, let the dead run free, and watch their monsters eat them alive. When the dust settled, the village had its water back. The kids laughed like they didn't know what the world had become. The chief gave me a canteen, thanks. Said it was luck. I don't believe in luck. Only motion. We're out, Daryl, and the boy are safe, Tina. S still out there, and so am I. The road to Barcelona. S long. But I've ridden worse. This is Limbo, where the living and the dead trade places. And I don't plan on staying. I was gassing up on the road to Barcelona when an engine roared in behind me. I drew, ready for trouble. Past, stepped out, need a guide. Maybe I did. From the ridge, the city looked like a graveyard. Down in the Gothic quarter, the part she remembered was long dead. Walkers first, then gun barrels. Guerrillas swarmed us, harmed us. Recognized one of them. Zara, misunderstanding over. They took us to their camp, a refugee web stitched together by people who refused to bow. By the fire, I said why I'd come. There's a girl, Justina, stolen by the self-crowned king. Not worth the risks, they said. Paz added another truth. The queen in that castle used to be the woman. The I told them killing the king while saving the girl would break the spell he has on this coast. A map came out, one choke point, a killing lane fenced with pen walkers. We'd only get one shot. At dawn, we hit the convoy truck blocked in a tree, arrows rained. I reached the prison cage, jam locked, ROM keyed, gunfire, walking closer. Zara lifted a rocket to end it fast. Paz nodded. Aside, her queen might be inside that armor. The shot went wide, tore a wall, spilled a tide of biters. Zara fell, the king slipped away. The lock still wouldn't turn. The girl cried and reached for me. I had to let go. Back at the village, Carol was fighting a different war. Roberto burning up medicine rationed by a petty tyrant. She found the tea had been poisoned, forced the truth out of an old ally and stole the pills the boy needed. Fever broke, but the town was turning. She started planning a quiet exit to the lighthouse of Bodom. Antonio, the man who'd been helping her, finally cracked open the past Barcelona before the fall. A dream of films, a woman named Maria who believed in it first. A project about radicals that she hated, that he pushed her into. A bomb took her from him. The village boss learned the secret and used it to keep Antonio small, silent, guilty. He never told his son how his mother really died. Couldn't say she died because of him. That's where we are when the night goes quiet. The road to Barcelona behind me, the girl not yet saved, the city of ghosts ahead. And in the village, the father staring at the weight of his own story. Finally saying it out loud. We lost time at the cages, so we hid at the lighthouse and counted breaths. Antonio stood up to fate in public. That meant trouble for everyone. Waiting would only get the kids killed, so I bet on hope and walked back into hell. Paz and I slipped into the Ale Cesar with the day laborers, heads down, papers up, eyes on the floor. Inside, Spain's rotten heartbeat under velvet masks, torches. Quartet made puppets out of walkers, so no one had to look a worker in the face. The king preened, the girls were paraded like contraband, and the room smelled like smoke. That hadn't started yet. Chaos is a tool. I cut strings, lit a flame, and let the dead dance for themselves. Screams covered our move. Paz found Elena pregnant, terrified, still steel, and the king came at her out of the dark. Queens and kings, she put steel in his ribs. Paz finished it. I hunted Justina through fire and silk, broke a door, broke a duke, got her breathing steady, and we pulled out into night. At dawn, we split the map. Paz would get the kids to Barcelona, safe as the roads allow. Back at the coast, Carol had run the gauntlet for Roberto. Fate tried to hang truth in the square and feed lies to his people, chained a boy to corpses, and opened the pens. I cut in from the roof lines, bullets, met stone. The crowd watched which way the wind would lie. The girl stepped through the walkers and didn't die. The town learned who'd been lying to them. We cut Roberto loose. We aimed the bow toward home, but ghosts don't like clean exits. Fade followed to the water, set the night on fire, and our boat went up with it. Plans burned. We put flames out with our hands, and there was nothing left to save. Another road, then. On the walk back, Roberto asked why I'd risk all this for kids that weren't mine. Truth is, the world took a lot from me, and running turned into a habit I wear like a scar. But watching him and Justina felt like something worth betting on. Maybe what's lost in me can still buy him a future. Carol turned to settle debts that won't stay buried. I stayed breathing, counting the miles between here and a place that might still be called home. Maybe this time I don't run. Maybe it's finally safe to go home and stay.
This whole time I've been trying to get